Role of the woman in hard time. This is my personal information. This character chart in a hard time. Introduction. Charles Dickens' novel Hard Time seems to embody the link of cultural theory with the carnival and with the Marxist argument of how societies, class, and culture are colonized, decolonized, centered, and decentered, subverted, and liberated, and pushed to the prepare for the same cultural materialistic. Yeah, resile historical, ideological, and political reasons. The novel is actually saying that we human beings exist and living in social groups, and that all of our behavior, experience, and response to daily activity are related to our society and culture. When we understand the intellectuals of our action within society, we begin to understand ourself, our belief, value, philosophy, religions, and our entire existence in a certain culture. It is those our culture, the politics of a culture which actually determine our identity. This article reveals how Dickens invert in a carnivoral manners most of Victorian culture value not only those of the rich bankers and the cotton lord of Preston Cocktown, men of facts and colonials of the boundary by and the like, but also those of the working class lot as those involved in our reading circus of the carnival paper. Indeed, Dickens' success in such a ideological is representative of culture as a prize as a prison house, which is a political by many social and educational uh, ignominic force over a conscious and unconscious apparatus. uh, Had time to criticize not only in this novel but throughout is a fiction. Throughout the novel, there is a politics of a culture which continually renders that poor class as subscribe and threaten class against the stability of the entire society. Carnivalism saw the concept of the culture stems for the fact that what we believe, what we value, and in many way what we think in a direct result of culture and our society. In hard time, say that what we think and what we think in our mind and directly you present in your society and cultural and society. Gender and paradox in hard times. Hard times provide two portrait of idealism denies a woman. Cecily Jukes and Rachel both character exhibit standard Victorian feminine virtue, extraordinary devotion, remarkable love based power of introduction. The man's own worthiness in the formal in a largely irrel- irrelevant, especially if he is a father of a brother. These contribution reveal themselves whenever gender issue arise. For example, Tom's attitudes about his sister, female duty toward him. You are a girl. To a girl comes out of it better than a boy does. This example of a hard time when Tom says that her sister when a girls comes out in the better than a boys does, better than boy. Hearing that her husband has apprehend Tom and Louis peeping into a salary circus, Mrs. Gradgrind explained, "I declared you are enough to make one regret. Every having had a great mind to say I wish. Would you have a dozen? I should like to know. Dickens obviously intends us to laugh at this obvious paradox. Mrs. Gradgrind could only prove her suffering to her way. Were children, if they did not exist, woman in hard time. Hard time shows a woman as a powerless and tripped within a patriarchate society. How fair do you agree with this statement? Discuss at last three female characters. Dickens shows woman as a represent and uh, power, powerless, especially thought the dependence on a man. Dickens says that in hard time, women are powerless and in their society, just because she depend their husband or in their father, and in their hard time they can show uh, thought that depends on a man. We see the especially in the character Louisa. On the other hand, Dickens portrays women as having a power within their emotions, such as emphasis and perception, as we see in a CC. Uh, although women are although women are not sure to have a power and sure to have a power, I, the woman in hard time, are sure to have two power. Louisa is forced into a marrying my Mr. Bond bride because he is a rich, and the main thing is power. Dickens show her reaction. She closed her hand as if upon a soil object, and slowly opened it as if realized dust or rush. The use of dust or ash compares to her life, as they are both seems as a worthless. Realism compares her being real, relates to a boundaries, because she has no say is what she want to do. To summarize this quote, she is trying to in her hard time, woman was hard time, she is more able, she is depend on others, just because Mr. Louisa married Mr. Bondry just because he was a rich. Where there was a rich. Then Louisa get married him. She is not able to in hard time. Women are not able to the reputation of herself in capable to her financially. She depend on her husband and his husband and father in a hard time. uh, this is my cited works.